An aircraft plunging through trackless skies. And a little man whose mind adventures beyond time and space. No Highway by Nevil Shute.
When you hang up your toothbrush, pick up your Listerine.
Brushing isn't enough, you've got to have Listerine.
Listerine protects where a toothbrush wouldn't.
Protect your throat where a toothbrush couldn't.
You mustn't forget to pick up your Listerine. For successful days, it's a good beginning.
Meeting people and friendship winning.
Never forget to pick up your Listerine. When you hang up your toothbrush, pick up your Listerine.
'Cause you want to be sure that your breath is pure and clean.
You can taste all the tingling good it does.
Your mouth is clean and fresh because
you always remember to pick up your Listerine. Listerine.
It all began, you might say, when a Rutland Reindeer airliner took off from Goose Airfield after making the Atlantic crossing from London and headed for Montreal. The airliner flew above the overcast that hid the snow-covered hills of Labrador. The usual radio communication was maintained, and then suddenly it ceased, for a very good reason. However it was that the aircraft met its end, it happened so fast that the pilot had been unable to send any word of it upon the radio. We didn't know it then, but that tragedy marked the beginning of the remarkable adventures of a remarkable man, Theodore Honey.
Dennis, you know Mr. Honey, don't you? Theodore Honey.
I should say I do.
She does say the queerest things sometimes.
What sort of things?
Pyramidology.
What?
Call yourself a scientist and you don't know pyramidology. Even funny Elspeth knows that.
Well, I don't. What is it?
It's all about the Great Pyramid in Egypt. Prophecies and all that sort of thing.
It's not the sort of science that I learned at college. Is that what they teach at your school?
No, it's just Elspeth. She came and asked me if she could do her practicing in the break on the school piano. And when I asked her why she couldn't do it at home, she said there wasn't time now because she was helping her daddy with his pyramidology.
Helping him?
From what she told me, it seems there's some sort of directional bearing from 2 points in the Great Pyramid, which is lined up in Iceland, just like a radar beam. And that's where our Lord will come down to the earth at the end of the world. And that's going to be quite soon. But Elspeth says her daddy found a mistake in the calculations, and he's working it all out again, and she's been helping him with the sums.
How old is Elspeth?
Just 12. But to look at her, you wouldn't think she was more than 10.
Well, go on. I'm very interested in this.
She says it's all very exciting because her daddy thinks it will turn out that the ray goes through Glastonbury, because Jesus came to live in Glastonbury when he was a young man. So he'll probably go back there when he comes again.
Our Glastonbury? I mean, here in England?
Yes. But Elspeth hopes the ray will go through Farnborough, because that's the most important place in the world, seeing it's where her daddy works.
Do you think Mr. Honey believes all this?
Oh, he must do, mustn't he? Or he wouldn't have told Elspeth.
No, I am worried.
Why, Dennis?
Because of Honey's job at the aircraft establishment. If he's really eccentric, well, how much reliance can I place in the work he's doing?
What exactly is his work? Oh, I know he's a research worker, but...
He's working on fatigue and stress in alloy structures used in aircraft. Just about the most important job of all when it comes to air safety.
Then that means that...
That the safety factor in current commercial aircraft is in the hands of the eccentric Mr. Honey. Next morning, I went down to the little room where Mr. Honey worked. He was one of the ugliest men I've ever met. He had a sallow face with the features of a tired and discontented frog. He wore steel-rimmed spectacles with very thick lenses, and he was as blind as a bat without them. Each day he covered sheet after sheet of foolscap with records of his research. Outside, in a shed, he'd set up a tailplane of the new reindeer aircraft, vibrated by a whacking great electric motor that simulated flight conditions, so that he could find out if and when the tailplane would crack under stress. The noise from this mechanical contraption filled the room as I talked to him.
We can't expect much yet, Dr. Scott. The fatigue test has only been running about 2 months, you know.
And you intend to keep it going till the tailplane breaks through fatigue?
Yes, to test the accuracy of my calculations.
Then you have arrived at a result for your calculations?
Oh, yes. All of these papers...
Look, let's go into my office. It'll be quieter there. Now, Mr. Honey.
Well, I've set out here my whole theory of nuclear separation.
And you've arrived at a time factor?
Yes, I'm expecting to learn something from this testing before Christmas.
Mr. Honey, that's nearly 5 months away.
The test only runs in the daytime, you know. The director won't allow it to run on night shift. Up till this morning, it had run 423 hours. Now, according to my calculations, it'll be about 1,000 hours more before I see a result. I've calculated that failure will probably occur after 1,440 hours.
Mr. Honey, do you realize what you just said to me?
I've been telling you about my basic research.
Mr. Honey, there's a practical side to your research. Something that can't wait another 5 months for verification. Reindeer aircraft have already come into service. Each day they're flying the Atlantic with full loads of passengers, from Heathrow to Gander and from Gander to Montreal. And what you're saying, in fact, is that the reindeer is unsafe, that the tailplane will break up after only 1,440 hours of flying. Well, it means that all those aircraft should be grounded.
I never said anything of the sort. What I'm saying is that theoretically, and if all the assumptions and calculations I've made should be exactly and precisely correct, a separation of the neutrons should occur at 1,440 hours. But I'm quite prepared for disappointment. The purpose of this test is to show where the assumptions are wrong and to correct the theory.
That's all very well, Mr. Honey, but we have to wait till Christmas to know whether you're right or wrong. And that doesn't help us in deciding what to do about the reindeers that are in service now. Each week they're piling up hundreds of hours of flying time.
Well, I can't help you there. I've told you all I can. You've got your troubles, and I've got mine.
If you don't mind, Mr. Honey, I'll take these papers with me. I want to talk about this with the director.
I don't like the sound of this, Scott.
No, sir. Neither do I.
Honey's estimate is based on this nuclear fission theory. And I don't understand that sort of thing any more than you do. That means we more or less have to take his word for it. And knowing something about Honey... Tell me, has he been all right recently?
All right? Well, I think so, sir. I don't think he's had any time off.
I'm glad to hear that. You see, there has been a little trouble with him in the past.
Oh?
He seems to hold very firm ideas on certain rather odd subjects. The 10 lost tribes of Israel and their identity with Britain, that sort of thing.
I hadn't heard that one. What I did hear from my wife was something to do with the Great Pyramid.
Yes, that's part of it. That comes in as well. No, just before you came here to take over the structural department, there was a procession of these people in Woking. There was some street fighting, and Honey, among others, was charged with creating a breach of the peace. I mentioned that because it's one of the matters one has to bear in mind when assessing the value of his work. That he has rather odd ideas on certain subjects.
Yes, sir.
Poor Honey. He's a man I'm very sorry for. His wife was killed towards the end of the war, you know, by a V-2 bomb. That had a great effect on him.
Just the same, sir. We can't afford to ignore this. He could be right, and the reindeer aircraft in service are piling up hours quicker than his test.
What is the longest time that one of the aircraft has done?
I don't know, sir. One of them flew into a hill the other day in Labrador.
Yes.
When I asked Anderson at lunch how many hours the rest of them had done, he said they'd only done 200 or 300 hours each.
That gives us a little time, then.
Yes, sir.
What actually happened in the reindeer crash in Labrador?
I don't know any more than was in the papers. The Russian ambassador to Ottawa was killed in it, Mr. Oskonnikov or something like that. All on board were killed.
Oh, yes, I remember.
It was the prototype reindeer. The one we had here for the trials.
Was it now?
But it seems a clear case. It flew into the mountain, hit at the top of the precipice, and fell down about 500 feet into the forest in flames.
I don't quite know what to say about all this, Scott. I'm like you. I haven't the knowledge to criticize this nuclear stuff, but it's clearly a matter of urgency. I think we ought to put it up to the Inter-Services Atomic Research Board on a high priority.
Well, could you send it personally, sir?
Personally?
I'm very nervous about the delay. I'd really like to ground those reindeers till we get the thing cleared up. I suppose that isn't practical.
Yes, that means stopping the entire operation of Central Airlines Atlantic Service. I think we'd have to get some supporting evidence for Mr. Honey's theories before we could do that. But I agree with you, Scott. This thing has to be taken seriously. I'll send it tonight to Sir Philip Dolbear with a personal note.
Then the days went by with no word from the chairman of the Atomic Board, apart from a note that he was considering the matter and would report on it in due course. And all the time, the reindeer aircraft were piling up flying hours. A week later, I drove Honey home to my flat after work. Shirley had phoned to say that Elspeth was there with her, listening to a symphony on our wireless. A 12-year-old girl listening to a symphony with my wife. I sat talking with Honey while Shirley and Elspeth washed up the tea things. And then Elspeth came running into us, greatly excited.
Daddy, please come out to the kitchen. You too, Dr. Scott.
All right.
What's all the excitement?
Elspeth's impressed with my washing up mop.
See, Daddy, Mrs. Scott washes up with a little mop so that you never have to put your hands into the water at all. Isn't that a good idea?
Oh, that's very ingenious.
And they've got hot water all the time, made by electricity.
From that little heater up there? I've never seen anything like that. Are they very expensive?
No, we hire ours from the electricity company at a very small cost.
Well, fancy that. It would make life easier, wouldn't it? What an ingenious device.
And presently they were gone, and I was left gazing out at the night in a torment of anxiety.
Dennis, what is it?
He didn't know what an electric water heater looked like. A washing-up mop was a miracle to him. Yet this is the man who tells us that the reindeer tail will come to bits in 1,400 flying hours. Well, can a man like this know enough about real life to speak with confidence on anything?
Oh, Dennis.
On the face of it, it doesn't make sense. But it just might. It just might. And each day more flying hours go past, piling up to the time when this man says the tails of the reindeer aeroplanes will break off, crashing people to their deaths. And there's nothing more that I can do. Nothing but wait.
You get more Coca-Cola for your money in the big, big family size. The best of all refreshment buys is Coca-Cola in the family size. You get more Coca-Cola for your money in the big, big family size.
Take home Coca-Cola.
Take home Coca-Cola. Post 4 and more big glasses in the big, big family size. In the big, big family size. In the big, big family.
No Highway. Adapted for radio by Richard Lane from the best-selling novel by Nevil Shute and directed by Roly Bali. An ART radio production.